Hello and welcome to my little video all about East Anglia Yarn Festival. First of all, if you don't know me, hello, my name is Laura. This is not a typical episode of the Lonely Knitter podcast. This is a little chat, little walkthrough, little talk about East Anglia Yarn Festival, which is a yarn show in Norwich in the UK, and I run it. So I started East Anglia Yarn Festival after a couple of my friends really egged me on into doing it. I have had this idea for years that there is not a yarn show in all of East Anglia and that we needed something in our area. And last year, a couple of my friends really, well, it was actually the year before last, they believed in me enough to push me into doing it. So last year I ran East Anglia Yarn Festival 2022, the first ever year, at the Holiday Inn in Norwich by the airport. And it went really, really well, but there was lots of learning points from it. And I went ahead and booked the Norfolk Showground Arena for 2023, and we have just had that show. So the 2023 show is now done, and it's been a couple of weeks. Well, it's been a week and a half, and I am slowly coming back to life. Obviously, the show is a huge amount of work and sucks every single spare moment of the day, and it's so worth it. But after the show, I had really bad tonsillitis during the show. I'm just like ploughing through. I could do it. My voice has now pretty much come back. It still sounds a little bit funny, but it's not anywhere near as painful as it has been. And it has just taken a few weeks for me to feel a bit more human and to sort of re-enter. I am also, and I know that I mask it in public, but in private I am a very anxious and very shy person who struggles to talk to new people. So to run an event that is now huge and talk to all the people, like, I want to talk to everyone, I desperately want to chat and I want to say hi and I want to talk to everybody, but the anxiety level is so ridiculously high and the stress level is so ridiculously high that I want to like full on masking, no panic, calm, we can get through this. I just knocked my arm on the wall, so the dog thinks someone's knocked on the door and he's got to look in all the places. But yeah, I masked it, and that is incredibly exhausting. So for the like 5 days following the show, I was just like in my house, totally burnt out and overwhelmed, and still recovering from feeling poorly. And yeah, not really had a chance to stop. Frank, do we have to walk around? You want to knock all of my things over? Hello. So yeah, and then the following week after the show, I have some volunteer work that I also do, as well as my work that actually pays the bills, and a lot of that was pretty hefty. And then on the weekend, I was away at hen do all weekend. So Frank, please don't take over the tripod. We don't need your help. Don't need it. Come back and sit on the sofa. He's not doing what I say. He never does what I say. Yeah, so it has been a mad few months, to be honest, and it was like it ended. I went home, I got home quite late on the Sunday night, and I got home and I went, crash. What just happened? How is this my life? How is this real? The most amazing weekend of my entire life just happened, and now I'm like yeah. So many people have said to me, did you enjoy it? Did you have a great time? No, I had a horrible time, like 90% of it, because I was so worried something would go wrong. The 10% of it that I enjoyed was the talking to people. My vendors, oh my gosh. Right, so the East Anglia Yarn Festival website is still up. It's there, and you can go and have a look at the 2023 vendors. The vendor list is still there. If you actually look in the footer of the website, we also keep our 2022 vendor list there as well. I like to keep the previous vendor lists on as well. That way you can find anyone that you spoke to at the show and you want to come and find their business and support them in the future, which they would love. Do it. Yeah, all the chats that I had with all the people who were so kind to me, the people that checked on me, I love you guys. All the customers who like just came through the door with smiles on their faces, all of them that came and then gave me feedback at the show. It was epic. It was epic. It was the best thing I've ever done. I feel like I was surrounded by the nicest people in the world. Like every single face was a smiling face. Like it was epic. And I have never felt anything like it. The sense of community, the fact that it was just huge, the fact that there was more than 1,500 people come through the doors. We're only in our second year, but like, yeah. I hired the Norfolk Showground Arena. Me! What even is this? So yeah, the panic was unreal all weekend. I was so scared that something would go wrong, something I hadn't thought of would happen, someone would have a bad day, bad experience, anything. Sunday afternoon, it's when I started to chill out. Sunday in general, I chilled out. I had a really good time on the Saturday night with my mum. After all the vendors had left, we went round checking there was nobody left in the marketplace, checking that nothing was out of place, there was nothing dangerous going on. Everything was locked up and shut up for the second day. And I just went around, and actually a few of my friends, so they were my friends, so I don't feel that they would have minded, but a few of them I just took things off their stand that I wanted to buy and put them on their chair, and then sent them a message saying, I've left this on your chair, I'll come and buy it off you tomorrow, please don't sell it to anyone else. Yeah, I didn't really shop on the first day because I didn't stop moving. I did shop on the second day and I shopped hard. I failed massively in taking pictures and video, but there are some brilliant ones out there. We had amazing podcasters join us. It blows my mind. It blows my mind how many people turned up. It blows my mind that all the vendors believed in me enough to turn up. The vendors, for me, there is a huge thing with having a yarn show with the vendors putting their faith in me and actually coming all this way, investing their time, money, effort, everything into making the show what it is, because it wouldn't be a show without the vendors. So a lot of them feel like they are my peers. They are my peers because I vend at yarn shows myself with my own hand-dyed yarn company, and I would have a stand next to those people. And, you know, these are people that I've looked up to, that I see as my mates. And yeah, if any of you are watching, I love you. Thank you. You've made my dream come true. But they're also the loveliest people to work with. The people that get it. The people that get how hard yarn shows are and don't, yeah, they just, oh, I had the best time. And the vendors, they made it happen, didn't they? This is the thing. If the vendors didn't come, didn't turn up, bring all their beautiful things, there would be no show. You guys wouldn't come, customers wouldn't come, and that would be the end of it all. So they made it happen. So thank you, vendors, if anyone sees this. So after I've done chatting to you, my plan is to put up any clips and pictures that I can find. We'll see, the magic of editing, which I'm not very good at. And then at the end, I'll pop back up with a little haul, all the things that came home with me. I didn't shop on Saturday, really, a little bit, tiny bit. But then on Sunday, because it got really late in the day and I hadn't bought anything, and then I just went round and went, I love that, I love that, I love that. I even got some skeins of yarn out of someone's car as they were being packed up, because I just didn't get a chance. Next year, everything, I'll know what I'm doing, everything will be a lot more relaxed, and because it won't be a crazy, oh, this is actually like this, it's nothing like the floor plan that was given to me with the fire exits. You know, all the things, I will know them, hopefully, and I'll be able to just glide through serenely. It's not going to happen. I've never been serene in my life. But the amazingly fun thing that's happening now is that, look at my horrible nails. I lost 2 nails during the show and I have not had them done since my sister-in-law does my nails. And she did an amazing job. These ones have all stayed perfectly. I lost 2. But it's opening boxes and things. But yeah, it was the most amazing fun. And there are videos on YouTube. So if you put East Anglia Yarn Festival into YouTube, there are videos that'll be better than mine because I was working. One question that I had a lot of people ask me, and I've had people ask me since as well. I didn't see your stand at the show. Did you have a stand at the show? I'm so sorry, I missed your stand at the show. I did not have a stand at the show. So this has grown massively. Sangley Yarn Festival has grown massively in the 2 years that I've been doing it. Last year I had a stand. It did not get anywhere near the effort and attention that a stand should get. I just basically had to higgledy-piggledy together anything that I had in the house, and I had no time to really prep for it. And I thought long and hard about it this year, and I thought, well, I could prep and I could bring some things and I could find a friend to run it, or I could have it near the merch table so my family, who are amazing volunteers, could run it as well. When I thought about it really, I knew that my time would be stretched. I ended up not having childcare for sort of the last 6 months of last year, which wasn't something that I was expecting. All of my vendors are coming a long way, and even the ones that aren't coming a long way, they're still putting a lot of effort in. They're all paying to be there. It's a lot of work for all of them. And for me to take time, what little time I did have around my children, if you don't know me, and my kids are 6 and 3, for me to take that attention and time and put it onto my own yarn dyeing business to make sure that I had a stand in the marketplace would have meant that I would have had less time to put into running the show, to give it the attention to my vendors that they need, the advertising that needs to go into it all. I pay a lot of money for advertising and getting things in the right places, but I also spend a lot of time. So the week before the show, I did a stand at a free event in the centre of Norwich and was handing out leaflets and teaching people to knit. A few days before the show, I was on a craft to career panel, you know, talking about the show again. So the advertising and the effort that needs to go into it, that's what my vendors deserve, that's what my customers deserve, that's what everyone who then is involved with the show from me down deserves. They deserve my full attention. And so for me to take that away and focus on a stand, even if a portion of that away to focus on a stand, for me it didn't feel right. I'm not saying anything about other people at other shows. I just have very little children and need to manage my time, and I'm not very good at that on a normal basis anyway. So I knew that I wouldn't be able to have a stand, and if I did, it would be almost unfair to other people involved in the show because I wouldn't be putting in the attention that they deserve and have paid for, to be honest. So no, I did not have a stand at the show. I did have one Eayf colourway, which was called This Girl Has Horns, because our logo for Eayf is a Norfolk horn sheep, and Norfolk horn female sheep have horns. And everyone kept calling our logo a ram, and I was like, no, it's a girl, her name is Norma. Norma the Norfolk horn. And so yeah, my colourway for this year was This Girl Has Horns, and I had a few skeins of that on the merch table, and that was it. So East Anglia Yarn Festival was a 3-day event for sure. Let me just get my face horribly close to the screen to find this. So it was a 3-day event, but that did not mean the marketplace was open for 3 days. Oh no, the marketplace was open for 2 days, but on the Friday night before the weekend, we had the big stitch night. The big stitch night was so much fun, and I'm so grateful to everyone that came. It's not a huge money maker for me. It's more about community, socialising, making friends before the weekend, and then raising some money for charity. So everyone who came in and for your entry price you got entry, and you got a mystery mini skein in a little bag, and in there as well was a raffle ticket. And our raffle was epic. Now, I did not take a picture of the raffle table because I am an idiot. The Corner of Craft, the amazing Hannah, my lovely friend Hannah, has a brilliant video of the weekend showing a few things, and in there you get to see the raffle table. It was an epic raffle table. Loads of our vendors, out of the kindness of their hearts, gave us raffle prizes. Amazing raffle prizes as well. Absolutely amazing. We had stitch markers, like we had sock blockers, we had yarn, we had so much yarn, we had a whole sweater kit, we had shawl kits, we had, oh, I can't even with how many, we had stationery, we had so many things. The raffle was amazing, and because there were so many prizes, it meant that everybody had really good odds of winning. It took me ages to get through the raffle. So everyone came, and it was just, it's a room that's used for a wedding. Lots of round tables, lots of chairs, and I really tried to encourage people to sit with people you don't know. Let me introduce you to someone if you don't know anyone. And it worked. There were people who made friends who then hang out with those friends all weekend at the show. It was epic. And that night we took tons of money for our charity. So our charities are nominated and chosen through our Instagram stories, and you guys had chosen East Anglia Children's Hospices for our charity for this year. So £1 from every entry price went towards the charity. All the raffle ticket money went towards the charity. And we had just over £500, and I was over the moon. And then, so the mini skeins that everyone got, so when everyone came in, they got a little mini skein in a mystery bag. Now, I bought those from vendors. They very kindly gave me a discounted price, but I bought them en masse from a bunch of different vendors who you would then see at the show, who are vending at the show. But then a couple of those vendors who hadn't got back to me with their payment details turned around after the show and said, I don't want you to pay me for them. Because I was like, I need to pay you, I owe you this money. And they're like, I don't want you to. I want you to give it to the charity. So I have made a charity donation this week, and I will put on our Instagram stories, probably before this video goes up actually, a little proof, so accountability, you can see that we have made the donation. But we gave £667.10 to East Anglia Children's Hospices from the Big Stitch Night, and I'm over the moon. So yeah, and lots of people made friends, had a nice start to the weekend, and won some amazing raffle prizes that our amazing vendors gave us. So I say a huge thank you to everyone that came to the Big Stitch Night, but also to all those vendors that gave us the most ridiculously amazing spread of prize draw prizes, because you are amazing people, amazing. And it made my weekend, and it started off like, I went back to the hotel room that night, and I was almost shaking when I had a microphone for the Big Stitch Night, and I think I did okay. I don't think I swore. I don't think I said anything horrendously offensive. I think I did okay. I'm quite loud when I'm masking and I'm in public and I'm being like, I'm okay. I'm really loud. Yeah, it was very out of my comfort zone and very nerve-wracking. But the best fun. And it gave me this confidence that I couldn't believe. It literally, I'm so scared that I'll get up there with a microphone being loud and everyone will go, oh, she's horrible, and then walk out. No, it wasn't like that at all. They might have thought that in their heads, but they were very nice on their faces, so it was fine. So I had the best time at the Stitch Night. The next day I was back at the arena for 7 AM to let final setup time happen over at the show. And then we opened our doors. The queues were huge. We had food. We had the bucket list, which is loaded chip buckets. We had Flippin' Marvellous, who do milkshakes, hot drinks, crepes, waffles on a stick, things like that. Inside we had Amanda Jones brownie bakes, and we also had Relish Cafe. So Relish Cafe make sandwiches and salads fresh right there in front of you, as per your specifications, and they cater for all allergies, all food preferences, choices. So they'll do vegan, they'll do vegetarian, they'll do gluten-free, they'll do everything you can possibly think of. They can do it for you. So and these businesses as well are local businesses to me. So Relish is the cafe. They are the sandwich shop that I have been going to. I mean, it's been handed over throughout the years to different people, but it's the little sandwich shop in Beccles where I grew up, that I used to go to as a little kid with my dad. And yeah, still go there now. Amanda Jones brownie bakes from my hometown, my brownie lady, like things like this. So it was really nice to support local businesses there as well. And you guys loved the food, which is amazing. We'll have even more food options next year, but obviously we are still starting out and slow, so we have to build on things slowly. Yeah, there was one comment that's come back to me a lot, which is that people would have liked to have a couple of drinks vendors inside so they could get a coffee or a tea from more than one person so that they wouldn't have to queue. Unfortunately, that isn't something I can fix, because at the moment there's only one sink point in that area, that whole section that we use for food and drink. So I only have one source of water. but they are thinking about building on the side of the arena, so it may actually look very different next year, maybe. And that's the next bit of news, that I have confirmed the dates for 2024 and 2025. I was talking to some of the people at the arena and they pointed out that big companies book the arena sort of 3 years in advance. And I'm stuck. I got Mother's Day this year. It actually was not intentional to have Mother's Day. I didn't want to land on Mother's Day, but it was the only day I could get, so no choice. And then when I went to book for next year, they said again, there's only one date left and it's Mother's Day, so I didn't have a choice again. But this year I have been able to put the money back in from this year's show. I've been able to put it back in towards the future and been able to pay a deposit on the arena for 2025 and select a date that is not Mother's Day. And then next year I'll do the same again and we'll get ourselves 3 years of deposits ahead, so that I'm playing with the big boys and that we don't get pushed about, and we can just firm up our dates nice and early. Wasn't something I could do this year previously for this year because very small startup business. The arena is thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds to rent and the deposit is thousands of pounds, so it's all about being able to put that forward into future years. Hopefully it will grow. If it doesn't, well, if it doesn't grow and it all goes very wrong, we can all go and have a picnic in the arena one year because I'll have paid for it. I'm sure it'll be fine. Right? It's all very scary. Yeah, I had the best time. I had the best fun. The vendors made it happen and the visitors made it amazing. And thank you. I owe huge thank yous to my family. I roped in everyone. So my best friend Laura, she took both my children for Mother's Day weekend. She has children of her own. She took both my children for the whole of Mother's Day weekend to look after them so that I wouldn't have to worry. Chris stayed at home with the kids. I stayed in the hotel next to the arena because we live about an hour away from it and I needed to be there for very earlys and very lates. And yeah, so each morning he dropped them off with her and then came straight up to the arena. My dad and my husband then spent their entire weekend in the car park directing traffic. My little brother was behind the merchandise table for pretty much the whole weekend. My mum and it was my dad's cousin, but my auntie, managed tickets, and they were the ones scanning everyone's tickets to come in and doing hand stamps and things like that. And then my lovely friends, my friend Julia, my friend Martin, my friends Len and Drew, they jumped in and just manned the teaching area for me for the whole weekend. Julia was running over in her car to the common room where the longer classes were, which is in a separate building, and setting it back up for the next class. I feel very loved. I already knew that I had an amazing family. I was pretty sure I had an amazing set of friends, but this has definitely confirmed it for me. I felt very, very loved, very, very looked after, very, very cared for. And my friends are some of the most amazing people. So thank you so much, you guys, because it wouldn't have happened without you. I would have just been sat in a mess in the corner somewhere crying while everyone turned up. Yeah, my lovely friend Laura, who jumped in on setup day and was a replacement Laura when I ran off and did other things. All my teachers, my teachers were amazing. They're absolutely brilliant classes, and yeah, just in general I feel very among friends, very looked after. As somebody with anxiety issues, as somebody who has always been the weird person, always been the person who stands out as not fitting in, and yeah, I was never in the popular group, I was never normal. And now I feel like I've found my village and my friends, and it's Frank. That was a weird noise. That's my cue to finish this, I think. Frank, come. But yeah, that's Frank, come here. So yeah, it's all oh brilliant. You're gonna knock everything over, are you? No. Yeah, that's it pretty much. So I'm gonna, any video, any clips that I have, I will put after here, but I don't think there is much. I really don't think there is much. I don't think there's barely any pictures. I barely took anything. I was running around like a crazy person all weekend, and then suddenly realised at the very end of the weekend that I hadn't taken like a single video. I couldn't get to the podcaster meetups. I couldn't do anything. I was literally non-stop, crazy overstimulated, just trying to stop from having a breakdown. Next year, it will be much easier and better. Frank! Next year, it'll be much easier because I know what I'm doing. I know the space and I can just do it. But yeah, the amount of things to think of is crazy. Frank is definitely sure there's somebody out there that he doesn't like. There's no one out there at all. Anyway, so yeah, I would recommend, if you want to get a bit more of a feel for the weekend, just putting East Anglia Yarn Festival into the search on YouTube and you'll find a whole bunch of vlogs. I haven't even watched them all yet. That's what I'm going to be doing for my week. But you'll find loads of vlogs and loads of videos, and yeah, people who actually properly recorded it, not like me who just did a naff job. A naff job. They've all gone home. Eayf 2023 is over. Thank you so much, folks. See you on Mother's Day weekend in 2024. Okay, I'm back with my haul. This is going to be very quick because I have to get my kids in 5 minutes from school and there is no other time to record this week and I can't let it go another week before I put this video up. So some of these things were given to me as presents. I cannot believe it. I was literally in shock. Like, you don't ever expect anyone to, like, some people have been very kind and give discounts to other vendors, and did the same for me, and that was incredibly kind. But nobody has to do this. These are all hardworking people who put their backs into their own little business, or big business. Let's stop with little business. Small business, but we're all big business. But, you know, nobody has to give anyone anything, and that I would never expect anyone to give anything to me. So when it happens, I'm like, and incredibly grateful. So let me start with this mug, which you may have already seen. It's gorgeous. I have an obsession with mugs from Emily Cross Ceramics. And for the last year and a half, every show I go to that she is at, I grab myself a mug, and I am slowly transitioning from shop bought mugs to handmade mugs, and Emily's are gorgeous and I use them for water because I drink the odd hot chocolate or chocolatey coffee, but I don't tend to drink that many hot drinks. But I actually really like drinking water out of a mug, and that's what I do. And so I buy one from Emily at every show that I go to that I find her at. They are incredibly reasonably priced as well for handmade mugs, and they are very well made, and she gave me this one. I am very, very lucky. I am incredibly lucky, and I am incredibly grateful. and it is gorgeous. So this is my latest Emily Crust Ceramics mug. These are in no specific order because I'm not that organised. Next I'll show you what I got from Jem of the Little Grey Girl. So I bought a skein of Alwyn, which on the ultra chunky. There we go. I thought I could make a hat. Can you make a hat out of one skein of chunky? I've never done that before, so we shall try. But it is a thing of beauty. Jem's yarn is all gorgeous, but she's also started stocking Chalgu needles, and my needles of choice is for socks is a Chalgu 2.25mm on an 80cm cable, and I knit one at a time, magic loop. So I bought two because even though I have lots around the house, I can never find them. So I got these from my lovely friend Jem. What else did I get? What else did I get? Let's go with this one next. I love a boucle. Is it boucle? I love a boucle yarn to look at. Never actually knit with one. Don't think I have any in my stash. So I grabbed Maple of Many from Jess of Pigment and Ply. And it is a thing of beauty. And it's a DK weight. And it'll probably become a hat because I'm on a hat kick at the moment. And I love it. I have this. So this is from my lovely friend Charmaine, who is Yarntings. And it has lots of my hair in it. I'm shedding lots of hair at the moment. And she came over to me when I was actually having a really burnt out moment. I just sat down, I was like, and she came over to me and gave me a skein of this and said, this is my East Anglia Yarn Festival colourway for the year. And I was over the moon. And it is a thing of beauty. And she gave it to me, which she did not have to do. And I am incredibly, incredibly grateful. And it is a thing of beauty. And it doesn't have a yarn band on, so I can't show you her logo. But I will link all the shops below for the people that I talk about, and you should go and check her out because her stuff is gorgeous. So that's that one. And then I got this from Giddy Yarns, my lovely friend Helen of Giddy Yarns. This is incredibly me, this. And it actually doesn't say on it what the colourway is, but it is a sock set. And it is a sparkly sock set. And it is a thing of beauty. And then next I have two skeins from Castleview Yarns. My lovely friend Jen of Castleview Yarns. I loved all the colours in her Moulin Rouge collection and couldn't decide what I wanted, so I got two. So I got Spectacular. Oh, look at it on camera, it looks as good. And then Your Song. It looks as good in real life, they are amazing. So yeah, Your Song and Spectacular. And then I got two skeins of DK, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I love them. Oh my gosh, look at them. So next, okay, this was a big treat. In the last like 2 minutes of Sunday opening, I was like, I haven't got anything to make a bigger project with. I need like a sweater's quantity or a couple of, like at least 3 or 4 skeins of something to make a project with. And I was by Pixie Yarn's booth. Oh my god! It's epic! This is the best thing ever. So it's Setting Sun to Doris. 8 50-gram sock skeins. A total of 1,700 metres or 1,859 yards. 75.25. Look at that. Look at that! Oh my gosh! So, something fadey. I've never made a fadey thing. Something fadey needs to happen. Like, oh. I'm in love. Okay, next thing. Okay, I don't actually have a picture of this to show you, but I'll talk about it. It is a kit. It is a kit from Sincerely Louise. I love Sincerely Louise, and I, last year, bought 2 kits. One for a unicorn, because she does the taxidermy heads, and one was for a unicorn head, and one was for a Highland cow head. And I was like, I'll make the Highland cow for Alfie's bedroom, and I'll make the unicorn for Ellie's bedroom. And I cast on the unicorn. And because this is me, I knit the first little bit, and then I put it back in the bag, and have not looked at it since. Awful. I am the woman with over 60 whips now in the garage, so don't judge me. I mean, you can judge me, but I judge me. But, you know, did we think of anything else? Like, nothing else was going to happen. So I have this kit for a project. But she released this kit at Eayf, and it was for a kangaroo with a joey in its pouch. And I was like, it's the cutest thing in the world. And because it was released at the show, I really wanted one, so I went and got one. So I am very, very, very happy with these. So I need to make it, because I need to make the kits from last year. I need to make all the things, but I'm a hoarder and have no attention span. ADHD at its finest. But yeah, so hopefully that will happen soon. The next thing is not the whole thing, but it's part of the thing. Fibre, you say, Laura, you don't spin anymore. This is my giant purchase. It's my very big purchase. It's something that I have wanted for about 5 years, and I just did it. I bought an Ashford spinner. I've had the Nano for years, and before that I had a castle style antique wheel, and I've always had a drop spindle. But since getting rid of my antique wheel that needed repairing, and I got my Nano, but I burnt the motor out on it, and I was looking at buying the bigger Nano, and I was like, you're just going to be disappointed and wish that you bought the spinner just like you did last time. So I spent the money. I bought an Ashford spinner, and I bought it from the Threshing Barn. Can you see the Threshing Barn? And they Sarah very, very kindly gave me 3 fibre moving fibres. So I got this one, and I got a gorgeous dark bluey sparkly one. But the wheel is set up in the other room with the other fibre on it. So I've just brought this to show you, and I'll tell you what else I got. The next thing I got a candle from Skein and the Stitch. I love Jess of Skein and the Stitch's candles. They smell amazing. They're amazing. And Jess is lovely. And this is the sweater weather smell, which I don't have. I have many of her others. But yeah. Oh, it smells really good. I wish this was smell-o-vision so I could smell it to you. But it's sweater weather from Skein and the Stitch. And that was given to me. I was very luckily given that. And then I was also given this. So I went over to grab this from Hannah, and I just was running past, and I was like, I want that. I'll be back with money. I want that. And she put it to one side, and then she would not let me pay for it. She was incredibly generous, but it is a tiny little dragon. Obviously, Hannah's stitch markers take a huge amount of time and work to go into. They are all hand beaded, and it is a thing of beauty. And I am, my D&D group, well, I'm in a group that we used to play D&D. We don't so much anymore, but we are called the Stabby Dragons, and many of us are also in other D&D groups. So both of my D&D groups have members of the Stabby Dragons in it, and yeah, so it's I'm always drawn to a dragon. I have a couple of dragons now from Hannah, but I didn't have one in this colour, and my friend grabbed one, and I was like, I need one too. So I managed to get the last, I think it was, of these ones while I was over there, which Hannah very kindly then gave to me, which I'm very grateful for. Thank you so much, Hannah, and I love it to bits. It's so cute. And now that I've shown it to you, I can take it off of the backing card and use it. I have to go. I have a very short amount of time, but I have only 2 things left to show you, so I'm going to show them quickly. The next thing I bought was these. These are, oh, I'm pulling things about. Oh, I'll just show you in the box. These are from Mahliqa, designed by Soraya. There we go. So these are earrings, and they are amazing, handmade, gorgeous, hand crocheted earrings, sterling silver hooks. I have some large hoops from Soraya, from Mahliqa, and they are big crocheted with yarn ones, but I wanted something little and something a bit more dainty and like easy to wear with anything, because my big hoops are green, so they don't always go with what I'm wearing, and these in their gorgeous silveriness can literally go with anything. So now I've shown you I can take them out of the box and actually wear them. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you is not how I bought it. I have caked it all up, because with me, we all know that if I want any chance of actually finishing a project, I have to cake it all up at the first instance. Otherwise, I'll knit the first skein and never come back to it. That's what's happened to many of the projects in the garage. In the garage sounds like I really don't care about them. I have if you haven't seen this before, we've converted the back of my garage into what was meant to be my studio. And actually, we just call it the garage room, which is incredibly sexy. I'm not going to show you all of these. There's 4 of them. I have 6. These are Yennifer of vengerberg from the Fibre Fox. My lovely, lovely friend Georgie. She is my absolute soul sister. And now that I have shown you my other stitch marker, I can take this, which is my beginning of a round stitch marker at the moment, my scissors off of here. But I have cast on a colouring book raglan, which I'm not going to colouring book. There's going to be no stripes. It's just plain. But I cast it on because I wanted a new cast on for the hen weekend, and I've knit one before and I knit it incredibly quickly, which means it actually has a chance of being finished. I haven't touched it again since the weekend, so you never know. Might end up in a bag of doom forever. But this is the yarn that it was right at the end of the weekend. I went to Georgie. I didn't buy a sweater's quantity. Which is something that I really want to try and do every year at the show and actually have some garments. And I've got my fade pack, but I was like, I was really planning on getting a sweater's quantity of DK and having something that I could cast on in a jumper really soon. And she was already packing up her yarn. It was nearly all gone. She was like, if you see anything you like, you could get it from me. Like, just grab. Anyway, I had driven us to a retreat last year, and she was going to give me a few skeins of yarn instead of petrol money, because yarn instead of petrol money is always better. And so we did a deal together on these 6 skeins, and I did not pay full price, which I am very grateful for. Thank you so much, Georgie. But yeah, basically she went, there was nothing in the bags that was like what I wanted and DK, and then she went, I know what I have that you would want. And I was like, what? She was like, purple. And I was like, purple. And we went over to the car that poor Ben had already packed nearly all of it and got a big bag of yarn out, and it was the first big bag that I got out, so it was meant to be. And I dug through until I found these 6 skeins of Yennifer of vengerberg, and I am so happy. And can you see I had no stitch markers at the weekend, so I had to do the little yarny homemade stitch markers, and then use my snips as my beginning of round. But yeah, it's stunning. You can already see that it's stunning, and I can't wait to actually work on that. So that is my epic. Oh no, it's not. Leaf got something. I got a couple of books. I got the Toft Farm book, and they put them in a bag, bless them, and the Toft Ocean book, because my son is obsessed with octopi. He has an octopus teddy, so I thought this would be really fun to make a couple of things. And then my mum wanted something made for somebody that she wanted a gift, who's got a baby, and so I have actually made this little donkey since the show, but I don't have it to show you because I gave it straight to my mum, and after all the work my mum did for me that weekend, couldn't really say no. So that is everything that I brought home for East Anglia Yarn Festival. It's probably all going to go into stash. It is my retirement plan. I'm hoping I will actually make some of the things, but at the same time, there is no time in the day. I am now planning for Stitches on the Sand. So if you haven't heard of it, and if you are in the local area or you fancy a little journey or a little seaside holiday, I live in Lowestoft, in the most easterly town in England. Norwich is less than an hour away, and I have a mini event in Lowestoft in the summer in August with 10 mainly local vendors. And I actually get to vend at this one because this is such a small event in comparison that I actually get to be there. So yeah, you can find me, my hand-dyed yarn, and 9 amazing other makers. I am just firming up all the details for the last few bits before I release the page on my website with who will be there. But the tickets are on sale now because it is going ahead and we have got the people. So tickets are on sale now if you fancy having a look. But yeah, that's my next big plan. Working on Stitches on the Sand and going back to yarn dyeing a bit more. But yeah, if you came to East Anglia Yarn Festival, thank you. If you saw us online and you liked a post, commented, sent a message, anything, thank you. I am so grateful. I still can't really believe it happened. It all feels like a crazy dream, but it was the best dream ever. And it did actually happen because people keep talking to me about it. Roll on 2024. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Bye. So that's everything from me for East Anglia Yarn Festival for this year. I know I've already said thank you, but I need to say it again because dreams have been made. It's not even a joke. Literally, my dream has come true. Can't wait to do it again next year. Frank! I can't wait to do it again next year, and I can't wait to be back with you all. In the meantime, there's tons of other UK yarn shows, and if you go and support them, then these vendors can get round to all the yarn shows, and then they can come back to me next year. And I'll be vending at some of these yarn shows. I can't tell you which yet because it's secret squirrel until they put it out there. But yeah, I have got some yarn shows planned for myself to vend at myself to vend at later in the year. Yeah. What else is there to say other than thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are amazing. Literally made a dream come true, and I feel incredibly lucky. And I love this community. I love my friends. I love you guys. It's just a big, weird love fest. It's the most boring talking to a camera video ever. Sorry. See you later.